All right, let's talk about Marvel Rivals matchmaking. Yes, EOMM. Does Marvel Rivals make you lose on purpose? Everyone's thinking it, so I might as well say it. The game is rigged. And I'm not saying this in like a big conspiracy because we've all experienced being on a 5, 6, 7 game win streak. You get off and then you hop on the next day and then you lose 6 or 7 games back to back to back to back. Especially those games where you're on a rank up and then boom, worst teammates you've ever seen. Enemy team playing like a Marvel's Rivals championship. And if you're wondering if it's personal, spoiler alert, it's not. It's just engagement optimized matchmaking, aka EOMM. And it's 100% real. So today in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what it is, what it does, and how you can beat it. But before we get started, I want to thank every single person for 1,000 subscribers. I never really thought that I would make it this far, to the point where I'm actually now monetized on YouTube. So to celebrate that, I am doing a skin giveaway in my Discord. So go ahead and join it up. The link is in the description. I'm giving everybody until the end of August to join before I officially do the giveaway. And of course, be sure to be subscribed to the channel. So what is EOMM? EOMM is a system used by Netease, and yes, they literally published an article about it. Their own research talks about how keeping players close to the 50% win-loss rate makes them more likely to stay engaged. Translation: they're not really trying to help you rank up, they're trying to give you a reason to keep playing. So they'll feed you wins to keep you hype off of a loss streak, then they'll toss you into an unwinnable match to humble you and to hook you and to get you back. It's kind of like gambling, where you could win a little bit, then lose everything, and then now you're trying to get back to where you started. I say it's like psychological manipulation, and it works. I play the game a lot now, and that's why the game feels amazing one day and straight up unplayable the next. So how it affects you is it hits the hardest during these rank up games. Try to think back to the time where you were one game away from getting into a new rank, say from plat to diamond. The matchmaker decides now is a great time to give you a Jeff 1 trick. Now is a great time to put somebody in your lobby that has a sub 30% win rate. Meanwhile, you go up against the most well-coordinated team that you've ever seen in your entire life. I'm talking comms, I'm talking they have synergy, they're playing like it's a scrim. So yeah, it does feel like the game is out to get you, because it kind of is. It wants you to stay in, it wants you to make sure that you're in the rank and you're that close to ranking up so that you can continue playing again. But let me say something that a lot of people don't want to hear, okay? And this is the tough truth. EOMM is real, the system is doing it on purpose, but if you are hard stuck, you deserve to be. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's real. There is a way to quote unquote beat EOMM. If you're playing at a level above the current rank, so let's say you're in plat and you want to be diamond, you have to play like a diamond to break through eventually, regardless of what the game throws at you, regardless of all the garbage players that they put on your team, or how many people are coordinated on the other team. If you are not a diamond level player, you will not rank up to diamond from plat. And same thing in the next ranks. If you're not a GM level player, you're not gonna go from diamond. You're just not. And it's not just the theory, it's been proven. There are so many content creators and top players out there playing solo queue unranked to GM all the time, unranked to Celestial all the time. Same matchmaking, same EOMM, and they're solo queuing. So just by pure skill and game knowledge, they make it consistently because they learn, they adapt, and outplay the system. So I don't believe the cope that's happening where you're telling me it's impossible to climb because Marvel keeps throwing your games, when there's people literally who are about that life, who are climbing on repeat live and making videos out of it. But with that being said, EOMM does not equal cope. Yeah, EOMM is frustrating, especially when it's been the main talking point for the last few weeks and the last few months. And I get that sometimes the matchmaking does feel rigged, but no, it doesn't give you an excuse to stop improving. If every loss feels like it's out of your hands, I hate to break it to you, but you're the one that's not analyzing the part that you can control. And I'm not here to say that every loss is your fault. Sometimes your team is actually garbage. Like, there's no way around it. But if you're losing more than you're winning for weeks on end, that's not matchmaking. That just means that you need to rank up your mental. You need to stop blaming Marvel Rivals. You need to stop blaming your team. And you just need to take the L, learn from it, and come back better. That's it. That's all you can control. And once you can control that, then you'll start seeing yourself like starting to climb. Now, to Netease, they're not off the hook. I'm not just a Netease glazer just because I want to be in the creator program. I'm going to tell you how it is, and that's why you keep coming back to this channel, because I'm unfiltered, and I'm not going to bend just because there's an incentive on the table. Netease needs to adopt how Valorant does matchmaking. Why does Valorant work? Valorant has one of the fairest rank systems out right now. I think Riot Games has perfected rank from League to Valorant to any of these other games that they have. And you know why? It's because you can feel the progress. There's no fake win or loss balancing going on. There's no game that I get into that I feel like Riot is actively plotting against me by putting 3 silvers on my team. You play well, you get rewarded. You lose because you underperform, cool. You take the hit. It seems fair. And when a game feels fair, players keep grinding, even after a loss streak. On my wish list, what I'd love to see from Marvel Rivals is a rank system that actually is about progression and not just engagement. Let me see my gains. Let me understand what's affecting my MMR. Don't throw hidden matchmaking mechanics to try to optimize my dopamine levels. Let me win or lose on my own terms. That's what builds competitive integrity. That's what brings people back every season. But until that happens, here's the real facts. EOMM is real. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, it's manipulative. But you can beat it. You just have to be better than the system, play smarter, review your replays, learn matchups, queue with the purpose. Don't autopilot. Focus on impact and what you can do during a fight and not just damage and numbers and final hits. Which brings me to the point, I'm tired of this final hits being a main stat for people to look at. It's such an arbitrary stat. Just because you shoot 1 bullet to get the final hit doesn't mean shit. I can't tell you how many times I want a tank and I get the tank 80% low and then a DPS because they got higher fire rate and I'm on Magneto, I gotta take 4 years to reload. They get the final hit and now at the end I have 6 final hits and they're like, yo, our Magneto sucked. First of all, you know what? That's another rant for another day. I almost got sidetracked. Anyway, if this video hit for you, do me a favor, drop the like, subscribe, and pull up to my Twitch. I've been streaming pretty regularly on there. I'm obviously streaming Marvel Rivals. I talk about a lot of the stuff live, and you get to see me play and experience it in real time. And as always, make sure you join the Discord. The giveaway ends at the end of August, so make sure you get in time, subscribe, and do your thing. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.